I know as a continuous learner, passionate about personal and business development, you've probably been through a lot of programs, read a ton of books, experienced coaching or counseling of some sort, and are dedicated to further up-leveling. That's awesome. I am right there with you. It's admirable to want to discover new things, and sometimes we stay in the learning and consuming stage to avoid deeper issues. Those deeper issues could be getting in the way of your next level. Today, we're going to be talking about uncovering stubborn resistance holding you back from your true brilliance. Are you ready to scale your business in a way that's aligned with your soul and profitable? I'm Rossi, a business and leadership coach. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 30 years and love business. I help conscious leaders increase their impact and optimize their lives. Join me each week for tips and deep conversations on cultivating confidence, increasing your visibility, elevating your vibration, and leading with purpose without burning out. Let's go. The definition of resistance is the refusal to accept or comply with something, the attempt to prevent something by action or argument. I always like to go to the definition to see what the root of the word means. The beginning is the refusal to accept or comply with something. When I first read that as a rebel and change maker, I'm okay with that definition. I like to live outside the box, not conform because I'm told to, ditch the labels, and see things creatively. Freedom is a core value, and perhaps it is for you too. But let's take a look at the second part of the definition, which is the attempt to prevent something by action or argument. This is what I'm interested in through the lens of personal resistance to up-leveling. Mentally, we can say that we want our desire, whether that's hitting multiple six figures in our career, losing weight, finding our soulmate, or what have you. However, if you feel more like the movie Groundhog Day when it actually comes to attaining your desires, then you need to pause and examine possible issues. Think of something that you really have wanted for a long time, something that you've put in a lot of effort towards. You've probably read enough research that you could even pen a book of your own on the subject. Now ask yourself, what's getting in the way of achieving this thing? Most times it's not logical. It's under the surface and usually buried pretty deep. Is it a fear of success or a fear of failing publicly or of being exposed for who you really are? Will there be a loss of feeling protected? These are deep and valuable questions. Questions worth journaling on when you have the opportunity. I was recently on a coaching call, and during the session, one of my questions struck a nerve with the client. She actually blurted out, "I feel really resistant to that notion." I love the fact that she felt comfortable and vulnerable enough to use her voice and speak what she was feeling, and I knew that's where the gold was. When we're getting to the root of what's holding us back, something inside can seize up. It's a natural protection mechanism. It's our egoic self trying to hold on to the familiar, to what's known. Even though we may be experiencing pain or struggle, we know how the music goes in that pain or struggle. Most times we could repeat the words of our pain and struggle song word for word. In fact, experts estimate that the mind thinks between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts per day. And if that's not an astonishing number to begin with, according to the research of Dr. Fred Luskin of Stanford University, a human being has approximately 60 thoughts per day, and 90% of those are repetitive. So that's the stat that really was unbelievable to me, that 90% of those thoughts are repetitive. So yeah, we pretty much know how to beat our story drum and know the words of our pain and struggle song by heart. In that, when something or someone comes in shining a light on how to shift perception, question reality, and have a new way of looking at things, resistance can be a natural byproduct. And here's the thing. A lot of our pain points have some sort of payoff. And I'm going to say that again. Many of our pain points, our personal pain points, have some sort of payoff. We are getting something from it. This sounds crazy. You may be thinking, no way, Casey. There is nothing positive about, say, emotional eating, for example. Or I'm absolutely not getting anything by being stuck right below the 6-figure mark no matter how hard I try in my business. But there is. Something is convincing your system that you'd be better off right where you are doing exactly what you're doing. You're getting something. It may not be obvious, but it's there. And my invitation to you is when you feel that resistance, which may come subtly like a breeze or hit you over the head like a 1-2 punch, here's what you can do. You can pause, listen, journal, and continue the conversation either with your coach or with yourself. Keep peeling back the layers. Put on your detective hat and approach the subject with curiosity. Ask more questions, and most importantly, listen. Really listen for the answers. Here's the thing. Let go of your preconceived notions of what you think the answer should be, and be open to the answer coming in a different shape, size, color, or language. Maybe it will come in a metaphor or a symbol. Just be open. Have the deep intention to uncover the root of what's been in the way to your next level. With this mindset, you will pierce through, perhaps in a quantum leap or in a slow dissolve that will take many inquiries to see clearly. The speed doesn't matter. What is most important is that you keep showing up for yourself and those around you. When we commit to doing the work, being high vibe, and gently opening the doors to our inner selves, not only will we benefit greatly, it will cause a sweet ripple effect of positivity throughout. I cannot wait to see what blossoms forth for you. And if you would like help in your discovery process, just reach out to me. I've got several options for working together, including how to optimize your emotional intelligence to reprogramming limiting beliefs. Until next week, my friend, breathe joy. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and most importantly, I hope that you find time to uncover the stubborn resistance that's been holding you back from your true brilliance. Because my friend, you have everything you need inside of you to succeed, to have a life filled with joy and ease. And it's just about slowing down and taking time to turn within and give yourself the self-grace and permission for those inquiries to really bubble up and give you that answer that's going to shine the light on what you truly need right now in this moment. So I recently was listening to a podcast, and it was all about whether avocado toast was good for you or not. And you may be like, this has nothing to do with this topic. What are you talking about? But here's the thing. It was almost an hour-long podcast, and I really just wanted the answer. Like, is it good for me or is it not good for me? And like maybe a little bit of the science behind it. What really came to mind for me is that I want to be so conscious of your time. I know how busy we all are, and so my intention is to make these solo casts a little bit shorter in time, because yes, it's important to get motivated and inspired and see things through a different lens, but even more important is that implementation. So my intention is going to be to make these solo casts a little bit more bite-sized so that you can take stronger and quicker action on them. If you want to rate and review the show, you can head on over to lovethepodcast.com/brilliance, and I will see you next week.